Hey guys, and welcome to the Volkswagen Group stand here at the IAA Messe in Munich. So in this video, I'm going to show you 4 new cars coming to market in a few years from Volkswagen Group. We have the new ID.POLO, the new Cupra Raval, we have this new Skoda crossover, and then we have the ID.CROSS, all based on the same platform and all small to medium small electric cars and electric SUVs. So we'll start with the new ID.POLO, which was revealed just the other day, or yesterday actually, here in Munich. And this is what we first saw as the ID.2 concept here 2 years ago. This is basically the electric Volkswagen Polo. So it is a small car, around 4 meters long. Also, it's going to top out with a range of 420 kilometers. I'm going to put all the specs for you on the screen. But if you come a little bit closer, we can take a look at this car. Does have camouflage, but it does, bear the Volkswagen illuminated logo. You have cooling down here. You have this light bar, light strip here, and then you have, very typical Volkswagen lights here. The headlights is a very clean design that is reminiscent of the Golf and the Polo of old. So from the side, we can see this is a smallish car. We're not allowed to step inside, but it's not a lot to see there because it is under cover. But this is a very typical, Volkswagen Polo size, and I think this is going to be interesting. This on the MEB Evo platform. This is going to be front wheel drive. And if you move over to the rear, again, it is very camouflaged, this car, with the illuminated Volkswagen logo there. You have the ID.POLO badging. Not a lot to see here. But what is even cooler is that they have the GTI concept over here. So as we can see, this GTI concept has more aggressive rear fascia here with the rear diffuser, matte black plastics, looks really cool and more aggressive. And also, these wheels look pretty cool. And also, it looks to have really nice arches, wheel arches, 19-inch wheels here with the red GTI badging. This looks pretty cool. And what I can see now, if you come a little bit closer, is that it actually has its charge port here on the front fender. And having a very short front end with the charge port there, I think that is a very cool detail and a very smart placement. So from the front end, I'm really liking what this ID.POLO GTI looks like. Again, the illuminated front badging. But here, you have more that honeycomb shape lower grille that we're used to from seeing from the GTI models, either the Golf or the Polo. A little bit of graphics here. You have your, your sensors up there, front-facing camera. I think from this angle, it is a pretty cool stance, and it looks a little bit wider of the wheel arches. I'm pretty sure it isn't, but I'm really liking the stance there. It may be because it is lower on the suspension, this being the GTI version of the new ID.POLO. So here we have the Raval version of the Volkswagen ID.POLO, or the Cupra version of the ID.POLO. And this is very distinct Cupra. If you think, Cupra Born versus ID.3, that is the difference you're getting here. Very different, front fascia here. You can see the wavy and the flame style surface here. Pointy front end, Cupra badging there. No illuminated badging and also no light bar up front. Just very clean and very simple and very sporty. I'm really liking the lines of this Raval and having the distinct Cupra lighting there. If we come over to this side, you can also see the most distinct thing is this rear wheel arch. Really sharp, really defined. It is pretty cool. You can see it really goes into this rear light bar design, making this a very different design to the Polo. Rear illuminated light bar, Cupra badging here. It is just a completely different look, this car, to that ID.POLO. And this being Cupra, pretty sure this is only going to be available as the most aggressive version, as we've seen with the Cupra Born. You're only going to get that in a sporty version. You're not going to have the entry-level lower version available from Cupra, because Cupra is a sporty brand and one of the sportiest branches in Volkswagen Group. So guys, let me know in the comment section down below. Do you like the ID.POLO and the GTI version more than this? I think this even with his camouflage, is more striking. This on the road, I think is going to look pretty darn cool. So this is the Skoda Epiq, built on the same platforms as the two cars we have over here, the three cars we've already seen. But this is more of a crossover. It wears Skoda's new design language called Modern Solid, and its new front fascia called Tech Deck we first saw with the L-Rock about a year ago. I really like, this new light bar design, the DRL design with the lights here and the dots of Skoda, and also their new lettering here, and also this, graphics on the hood here. This has a really cool matte paint color. I think this is reminiscent of the L-Rock RS launch I went to earlier this year, that same paint color. I think this is a pretty cool vertical slots down here, which is cooling, and I'm that these open up when the car needs cooling to cool the battery, but are closed when going at high speed to improve aerodynamics. So I'm really liking this new design of this Epiq. Flat surfaces, big surfaces, very clean wheel design. We can see it also has the charge port in the same placement as the Raval and also the ID.2. This is more classical Volkswagen, where I think, or Volkswagen Group, where Skoda are a little bit more traditional, but at the same time, these three brands, Skoda, Cupra and Volkswagen, have very distinct design languages. You can see this is a more squared off shape. It's going to mean that this car is going to have more interior space than the ID.CROSS we're going to see here in a second. And if you come over to the rear, this is a completely new rear design from Skoda we have not seen in any of their cars. So it has a vertical light strip here and then a horizontal one there. Very clean Skoda lettering there, and also again very sharp, clean flat surfaces. You have that mimic the front fascia of the car where we had those air vents, and also with the Epiq lettering there. I'm really liking the matte metallic lettering here on this metallic paint color. And also what's really cool, if we take a look over here, it has these fins, just small fins, but I'm guessing this is to improve aerodynamics, because you can see this shape here where it abruptly ends. This is to have a clean cutoff. This removes or reduces drag, and I think this is also something to do with reducing aerodynamics, just to give this car a little bit better efficiency. So here we have the ID.CROSS, which is basically the electric version of the T-Cross we're familiar with from before, which is just basically a more raised version of the Polo based on the same platform. And this being the ID.CROSS, is going to be built on the same MEB Evo platform that the ID.2 is based on. So this again, very different to the other cars we've seen, but this does not have camouflage like we saw with that ID.POLO. Also a different light bar design here, illuminated Volkswagen front. I'm really liking this new light signature, where you see elements of the Skoda Epiq, but done in a different way. And also the sensor here, the mid-range radar is illuminated. That's pretty interesting. I don't know if that is practical at all, but it is pretty cool. Also, you can see the surfacing on the hood is different, where the other cars go down on the middle. This is more classical in its proportions. Moving over to the side, this has really big wheels. These are like concept car wheels. It says Volkswagen design on the tires, on these Goodyear tires. There isn't even, a size marking on the tires, but they look to be like 22 or 23 inches, which is hilariously big on this small vehicle. Also, you can see the surfacing here is very clean, very nice. Also, you have, black cladding down here low on the side fascia. And also, I'm really liking the thing that it has, physical door handles here. And also, moving over to the rear here, more squared off design as we saw with that Epiq, but this seems to be a little bit more rounded off. And also here on the C or the D pillar, you have these really interesting light graphics. I'm not sure if I like that, but it is interesting either way. Then moving over to the rear end, which I think is really cool. You have these square-ish rear lights with this light bar here, with these 4 or 5 horizontal stripes, and then again the illuminated Volkswagen grille there. Here you have the concept nameplate on the lower part where the license plate would be, and also ID.CROSS. So they've used cross as their concept for different types of vehicles with a S and a Z. So we don't really know what this is going to be called. Is it going to be called the ID.CROSS? Maybe, probably, possibly. But yeah, this is a cool thing. So out of all of these 4 or 5 cars, what is your favorite? Let me know in the comment section down below. I like this, but maybe, you know, liking Skoda more than Volkswagen usually, I think maybe the Epiq. Oh, now they're moving the cars. They're actually taking the cars away. That is pretty interesting. So I think we were very lucky getting here just in time to film all of these cars. But let me know which is your favorite of these new MEB platform cars in the comment section down below. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below. And for more car content, as always, please subscribe. See you guys later and goodbye.